Hi everyone, today we're doing Braxton Family Values Season 2, Episode 2 review. Show starts off, it's Tamar, Tracy, Trina, and Tony. They all get together having lunch and they're discussing, what's going on in everybody's lives and are they going to do the Braxton album. And Tony's like, she doesn't know yet because she wants to, do her own album first. And Tamar's like, well, I'm already starting on my album. And Tracy looks like, well, didn't just the other day you said you hadn't had nothing going on? Okay. So she just sits there quietly like, okay. And Tamar's like, it's not going to happen if all five sisters are not in, they're not in sync of what's going on. If one person ain't going to do it, then ain't nobody going to do it, basically. So we're going to move over to Tawanda. She's still at Trina's house. Her and Andre are talking, and she got a phone call from Tony like, hey, could you please come out here and train my new assistant because this child don't know how to do nothing. It's messing up. I need you to train him to be the assistant that I need. So Tawanda tells Andre like, hey, that was Tony on the phone. He's like, let me guess. She wants you to come out there and train a new assistant. So he's getting all mad talking about you running out there for your sister. You supposed to be here with me, tending to my needs. Now, I had to stop him on this one. Aren't y'all separated? Wasn't you already going on dates and having other girlfriends? So, why are you so mad that she's going to LA? Yes. He's talking about some tending to my needs, you running out there to town. Now, I'm like, Andre, sit down somewhere. Andre be getting on my nerves. Am I just the only one that feels like it? It's just he's always saying something at the side of his neck at Tawana. Just always mean and negative and saying something, being rude, basically. Yeah, we're gonna switch over to Tracy and Miss Evelyn. They go out to lunch, and Tracy's like, since I don't think this album gonna go, the Braxton album's not gonna go anywhere. I think I want to take my, go somewhere else. I love to do hair, so I want to go back and get my cosmetology license. It opened up me a shop, and her mom was like, yeah, I think that's good, maybe we could do something together. She's like, yes, finally, I'm getting some. So she informs her sister that, hey, since this album's not going anywhere, I would love for us to sing together, but I'm thinking about going back to school and get my cosmetology license and open up my own shop. And it's like, oh, where you gonna do it? She's like, in Maryland. Dad's like, nah, you don't want to do it in Maryland. Maryland's so dead and dry. You need to go somewhere where it's hot and popping. Well, they didn't say those words, but I'm paraphrasing. And she was like, basically, what's wrong with Maryland? And it was Tamar had to say something about Maryland ain't it. You need to go to Atlanta or someplace like that. So, Tracy, she's still pondering things. Speaking of Tamar, she's going into the studio to work on her album. She gets there. Her husband's like, hey, this TC, songwriter, producer. I'm going to work with him. Here's your song. I got to leave for a minute. I'll be back. She heard, man, why are you leaving? You my husband. You supposed to stay here. This, that, third. He's like, girl, just go in there and do the song. So she gets in there. She already looking, this too high. I can't do that. Look how it sounds. And she get to singing. She was just complaining and complaining and complaining. I'm like, you've been trying to get your album out there for the longest. Now, people are actually interested again. And now you complaining. She's like, I don't like this. She got the acting crazy in there. Like she always do. No offense, Tamar. So, Tracy, she goes to a little class, so, get back in the mix of, something in my eye. Sorry. Get back in the mix of, trying to go back to school and everything. And she get there and direct, the little, the person in charge, yeah. He was like looking over her work, and he was like, some things are good, but you had a practice, you need to work on some things. So Tracy come back to her sister like, hey, I'm gonna open this, hair salon. I'm gonna need some investors. Anybody out there want to invest? And they was like, Tamar basically, not none of my money. No, I'm not. No, honey. Bam, no. So Tracy's like, now I'm gonna do. And then she met up with Tony, and Tony basically is trying to avoid the subject of her making them making an album, and more of, you going back to school, and how much longer is it going to take, and, avoiding the question of, let's do this album. So Tony and Tamar are talking. She's like, I don't like this new producer. He's young. He don't know me. So Tony was like, well, maybe you should work with Harvey. You know, you've worked with him before. This new guy don't know how to work with you. So she meets up with Harvey and everything, and she's like, can you help me with my album? Don't tell my husband, and I can't pay you right away. And he was like, yeah, we can do something like that. But she talked to Miss Evans. Miss Evans was like, you know, you need to go ahead and tell your husband the truth. Don't be sneaking around his back and doing all that stuff. And Tamar's like, I guess you're right, Mommy. I shouldn't have done that. So she goes to Vince and like, hey, Vince, I want to work with Harvey. And he's looking like, no, Tamar, stop coming to me with all this stupid stuff. I didn't find somebody to, you know, produce your album. We gonna work with him. She getting all mad, doing that bam, boom, bang, and rolling her neck and everything. It's like, Tawanda, gonna get over her. She's trying to train this new assistant. Forgot the child's name, but she's trying to train him. He's basically didn't know how to work with Tony. I guess she a really tough person to work with. She's like, Tony, she likes everything where it's supposed to be cleaned and everything. If there's a shoe right there, you gotta have a match right next to it. It can't be outside. It can't be up the street. The dog can't have it playing with it. They gotta be side by side. You gotta make sure everything's clean and in its place. Come on, child. Where the food at? See the cupboards in the refrigerator kind of blur. Need to go to the store and get food. Kids, Tony need to eat. You need to get on this. He's looking like, wow, I need to do all this. Yes, you do. And then Tony, she tells her all this, everybody there, you know, to eat dinner with Miss Evelyn. Ain't nobody else hard to get up anyway. And she's like, I need to fire him. And it's like, why? She's like, I asked him to make me some tea. He got this pot, put some water and put it on the stove. It's a plastic pot. He almost burnt the stove up. I don't know why that child thought you can put plastic on fire and it not do anything but boil the water, but he did. So she was like, Tawana, I need you to come out here and be my assistant. Tawana's like, I knew this was coming. Tamar's like, I told y'all. She want Tawana to be her assistant again. And she's like, you know, if you, Tawana's like, I don't know, I need to work things out. You know, I got Andre and the kids back here. Andre could stay somewhere else. You don't need to tote him around everywhere. It's not even like, I mean, if it's about the kids seeing their daddy, I can see that. But if it's him taking care of the kids, well, you'll be at home with Tony. The kids be at school most of the day. When they come home, you can be, y'all do your homework. Y'all can go play this. Mommy's right here to love you. And still work with Tony. Andre don't need to sit there doing that because 9 out of 10 times, 9 times out of 10, he's on that video game or working on that book he's been working on for the last 54 years. Yes, I said 54 years. So she's like, I don't know, I gotta work things out. And dang, I can't get her name out. Tony was like, well, I can get you an assistant. Your assistant got an assistant? Okay, but Twana's like, I'm gonna let Tony know I want to get on this acting, and I can't be her assistant for the rest of my life. So I guess with her being in LA, she can further her acting career. So we're gonna see how that works. So if I left anything out, do a comment or a video response if you're doing a video as well. And like always, I want to thank my subscribers and the people who watch my videos. I want you to thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and tell a friend. This is Lady T signing off. Have a good one.